You are most welcome to FIFA Sports Hype live updates here. As you all are aware, today is the first leg of the UEFA Champions League playoffs between 8 or 16 clubs involved. 8 will be eliminated and the remaining 8 will proceed to add to the first 8 teams who qualified automatically during the group stages. Today, the big match is between Manchester City and Real Madrid. It is recently one of the classic games in European football history. For 4 consecutive seasons now, it has always been Real Madrid versus Manchester City at one stage of the UEFA Champions League. So many clubs will be involved in tonight's clash. Also, Paris Saint-Germain and Brest will also be clashing in the UEFA Champions League. Similarly, PSV and Juventus are also going to battle it out for a place in the round of 16th of the UEFA Champions League playoff stage tonight. Juventus and PSV will be playing, like I told you. Sporting CP versus Borussia Dortmund are also going to be playing. It is at the home of Sporting CP. They were in fine form when Ruben Amorim was in charge, but later half of the season when he left them and joined Manchester United, it hasn't been good for the Portuguese-based side where Cristiano his football. Club Brugge will also be at home to Italian giants Atalanta, last season's UEFA Europa League champions. They will be visiting Club Brugge for a place in the round of 16th of the UEFA Champions League. AS Monaco will also be playing at home to Benfica, one of the great clubs when it comes to the history of the UEFA Champions League. Benfica, they were 1961 and 1962 champions of the competition, so they will also be battling it out with French giants AS Monaco. So what are your predictions in tonight's games? In less than an hour time, Brest will be taking on Paris Saint-Germain. That will be an early kickoff. The two will be starting the day, Brest versus PSG at 5:45 p.m. today. Later part of the day, Juventus versus PSV. It will be 8 p.m. Manchester City will be at the Etihad Sports Stadium to welcome European giants and record winners of the competition, Real Madrid. Sporting CP will also be at home to welcome Borussia Dortmund, and they will also be fighting for a place. Club Brugge, like I told you, they will be battling it out also tonight. So what are your predictions in tonight's UEFA Champions League clashes? What are your predictions? You can send your predictions through the comment section for us to see. Sporting CP, Borussia Dortmund, like I told you, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Juventus versus PSV, and Brest versus Paris Saint-Germain. We'll be giving you our predictions before the close of our discussion. Celtic versus Bayern Munich today. It is gonna be a tough game for Bayern Munich because Celtic, they have been good at home. The 1967 UEFA Champions League or European Cup winners will be at home to welcome Bayern Munich. It hasn't been easy for clubs at home when Celtic is playing at home. So FC Bayern Munich, the 6-time UEFA Champions League winner, they will be trying to see if they can battle it out with Celtic at home, because they have been good, they have been so good, and the record book says that a 1-0 win over Young Boys in their penultimate group game guaranteed Celtic spot in the playoff stage of the Champions League. However, they could not have been given a toughest test in the knockout round. Bayern Munich have unbeaten in their last 13 league matches against Scottish sides in Europe. The last Scottish team to beat them were Hearts in the UEFA Cup in 1989. So it has been so long. Since 1989, no Scottish-based team have beaten FC Bayern Munich. They have gone 13 matches unbeaten since 1989 against Scottish-based side. But in truth, Bayern should have qualified automatically for the last 16. They scored 20 goals in the group stages. Only Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund scored more goals than FC Bayern Munich during the group stages side, and they had more shots, 185 shots, than any other side. Bayern were let down by their away form in the group stages also. Yeah, that one is true. Winning just one of their 4 matches on the road. Celtic Park will be rocking well before kickoff on Wednesday night, that is tonight, and the team will need their fan base to come and support them. Daizen Maeda is back after suspension, and Jota's return is a boost for Celtic in the wake of Yugo Furuhashi. So it's going to be a tough battle between Celtic and FC Bayern Munich. But our prediction is that at the end of the day, FC Bayern Munich are going to go through in the 2 legs. We predict a win for Bayern Munich in tonight's game versus Celtic. Next on our discussion will be Feyenoord versus AC Milan. Feyenoord sacked their manager Brian Priestley on Monday, just 2 days before facing AC Milan in the Champions League. The Danish manager signed a 3-year contract last summer when he replaced Arne Slot, who is currently doing well with Liverpool, but he has been under pressure in recent weeks after a string of poor results. Feyenoord did beat Sparta Rotterdam 3-0 at the weekend, but it was the first win in 5 league games, and they are 5th in the Eredivisie, 12 points behind leaders Ajax Amsterdam. The Feyenoord players will at least see one familiar face on Wednesday night. Santiago Gimenez returns to Rotterdam, who played for them just 9 days after leaving the Dutch side for AC Milan, and the Mexican is expected to lead the charge against his former employees. Gimenez has made an immediate impact for the Rossoneri side, providing an assist for his fellow new arrival João Felix on his debut, before following that up with a goal against Empoli at the weekend. So Gimenez has been informed since leaving them to join AC Milan. So Kyle Walker, to the former Manchester City captain, is also with AC Milan. So he has rejuvenated their squad, and AC Milan are currently doing well. Kyle Walker is also set to start the game for but Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a doubt for AC Milan in tonight's clash. But what do we say? We predict that AC Milan, at the end of the day, will be going through over the 2 legs. But in tonight's game, our prediction is that the game is most likely to end in a draw between AC Milan and PSV. AC Milan and Feyenoord rather. So it's going to be a tough game for AC Milan, but still our prediction remains the same. Feyenoord will be at home. They are not that reluctant, though AC Milan is also a fierce side in European competition, but still we assume and predict that the game is most likely to end a draw between Feyenoord and AC Milan. Next will be Monaco versus Benfica. The 2 teams who is going to win the game. Like I told you, historically, AC Milan, Benfica are one of the best teams in the history of the Champions League. Since Real Madrid in 1956, 57, 58, 59, and 1960, winning the European Cup in its maiden edition. The first 5 years was won by Real Madrid. The team with the pedigree to stop them from continuing to win their 6th consecutive European Cup, or the modern day UEFA Champions League, was Benfica, who won the competition in 1961 and also defended it in 1962. So that's quite a bit of history for you, all those who are following. Try your possible best to share our updates. Send in your comments whether it is going to be a contribution, a question that you want to ask about the UEFA Champions League. I've just given you a little history about Benfica, what they have done. When Real Madrid was winning the Champions League for 5 consecutive years, from 1956 to 1960, the only club in Europe who could stood to take it away from them was Benfica. They won it in 1961 and also in 1962. So today they will be coming up against a team who is also a big force in French football, Monaco. So it has been a testing few months for Monaco after a great start in the group stages. They started the group stages well, beating FC Barcelona. You remember, they are the only team to beat Barcelona in this year UEFA Champions League. They won 3 of their first 4 games, including a memorable victory against FC Barcelona. They lost 3 of their last 4 and had to settle for a place in the knockout round. Their 4-1 defeat to PSG at the weekend means they have lost 5 of their 9 matches in 2025. The only good news is that their 3 wins against Aston Villa, Rennes and Angers have come at home. So they have been a good side at home recently, but things are not going on well with them in 2025. Out of 9 games, they have lost 5 of them. That is not good for Monaco. Coming up against an Angel Di Maria's led Benfica side. Adi Hatta will be without a few key players when Benfica visit the Stade Louis II on Wednesday. Florian Balogun, Jordan Teze, Wilfred Singo, and George Elenichena are injured and are joined on the sideline by the suspended Christian Mawisa. So many important players from the Benfica team will be missing tonight's game. What is our prediction on this game? Our prediction is that Benfica and Monaco's game is going to end draw. That is our prediction for tonight's game between Benfica and AS Monaco. Benfica, they have closed the gap at the top of the Portuguese league to 4 points. They have already played in Monaco in the Champions League this season. Bruno Lage's side came from behind to win that game in November 3-2, although their resurgence only arrived when Monaco were reduced to 10 men. So they have beaten Monaco at home this season already in the Champions League by 3 goals to 2. But our prediction remains the same, that the game is most likely to end a draw. It's going to be a scoring draw. There will be at least 4 goals in that game between Benfica and Monaco in tonight's clash. That is our prediction for tonight's game. Next, you remember that game is going to be this season. They have been a good side in the Champions League. You remember they almost eliminated Pep Guardiola's Manchester City from the Champions League until a second half comeback, which helped Guardiola's side to also get a spot in the playoff stage of the competition, which sees them facing Real Madrid in tonight's clash. So Club Brugge versus Atalanta is going to be a tough game. Club Brugge, they finished 24th in the group phase and snuck into the knockout round on goal difference. The good news is that they have no injury or suspension concern. The bad news is that they sold Andrei Skov-Olsen to Wolfsburg in January, further weakening an attack that only scored 7 goals in their 8 group stages matches. They are facing Atalanta at a difficult time. Gianpiero Gasperini side visit the Brindisi Stadium on the back of a resounding 5-0 win at Verona, a game in which their star striker Matteo Retegui scored 4 times. Atalanta have scored plenty of goals this season, 15 goals more than Serie A leaders Napoli, but they can be It will be a difficult task as they have been lost to Real Madrid at home, Manchester City. The powerhouse style of the playoffs, one European giant would fall by the wayside. Yes, they are all two giants, European powerhouses, but one will have to give way for the other to advance to the next stage of the competition. Nico Gonzalez, who joined Manchester City a few days ago, though he had an injury in their win, but still he trained with the team. Edison also trained with the team. Nathan Aki also trained with the team. Jeremy Doku also trained with the Manchester City team. So it will be a difficult task for Real Madrid to come to the Etihad Stadium to find a win against Manchester City. Though things are not going on with City, they have lost 2 home games this season across all competitions. We still expect that they wouldn't falter to Real Madrid that easily. Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius Jr. attack versus Pep Guardiola's Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium tonight. Though things are not going on with Manchester City, but considering their record against Real Madrid when they are playing at home, we believe that in tonight's game, Manchester City are going to win, but it will be difficult for Man City to progress to the round of 16, considering the fact that they will be playing the final tie at the Santiago de Bernabeu. That is the home ground of Real Madrid. We expect Manchester City to win tonight's game, but they will lose at the Santiago de Bernabeu. So over the 2 legs, we are choosing Real Madrid to advance to the round of 16 stage of the competition ahead of Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. That is our prediction, but specifically for tonight's game, we don't see Manchester City losing the game. The best result for Real Madrid in tonight's game will be a draw. For those who are following us online, live here, kindly try your possible best to subscribe to the channel. That is the only way we can progress as content creators. Also try your possible best to share the link for many others to benefit from our live discussion. Always we come to you with live updates, mostly in the night and also in the morning. Try your possible best to share the link for many others to join. Our final update or discussion on the UEFA Champions League games tonight will be Brest versus PSG. So Brest, things are not going on well with them when they are facing PSG. They have already lost 2 times against PSG this season. Their recent game was a 5-1 defeat to PSG this January. So this year already, they have lost to Luis Enrique's PSG. They lost by 5 goals 2-2 against PSG. And one surprising thing is that, which also gives PSG an advantage in tonight's game, is that Brest won't be playing in their home ground because it does not meet the required standards set by UEFA games. So they will be playing it at a different venue, which is an advantage to PSG in tonight's game. PSG in tonight's game, we are looking at them winning like 4 or more, scoring 4 or more goals against Brest in tonight's game. It is going to be a straight win for PSG. There is no doubt about it. No 2 ways about it. Over the 2 legs, it's going to be a win-win for Paris Saint-Germain. Luis Enrique, he has done it, and we expect him to do it again. Ousmane Dembele has been in a perfect form, scoring about 13 goals this season, January alone. 13 goals out of the last 9 games for PSG. Last 10 games for PSG, he has only failed to score in one match. The remaining matches, Ousmane Dembele have scored goals. So Warren Zaïre-Emery is missing for the League One leader, but PSG have ample strength in depth to cover for his absence. Ousmane Dembele will be hoping to continue his rampant form in tonight's game. He scored twice in PSG's 4-1 win against Monaco at the weekend, meaning he has scored 13 goals in 2025 already. He has matched his tally for the entirety of the 2024. 13 goals already this January for Ousmane Dembele. 13 goals. We have to applaud him. We have to applaud him. 13 goals for Ousmane Dembele this January is not a joke. He has matched his entire season of 2024. He scored 13 goals last season. But this year alone, 2025 alone, not this season, this year alone, 2025, from January to February, Ousmane Dembele, he has scored 13 goals for Paris Saint-Germain. The reason we believe that if he's going to be in the best of form, PSG will not score less than 4 goals in tonight's game. Try your possible best, like I said earlier. Subscribe to our channel, share our updates. Always try to follow us on our social media accounts. Saka Yakubu Isa on Facebook. FIFA Sports Hype is also on Facebook. FIFA Sports Hype on YouTube. Try your possible best to always follow us for many more updates. Thank you so much. We will be coming tomorrow. There are other important UEFA Champions League matches tomorrow, which I will be coming your way with many more analysis. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.